Good morning to all the students. We are here back with the interesting subject geometry, and the lesson which we are learning is circle. We will start by revising some points which are essential to solve problems today. Okay, so first point which we will revise today is congruence of arcs, and the required property for proving that two arcs are congruent is two arcs are congruent if their measure and radii are equal. Okay, so their measure and the radius of two circles should be equal. Then and there we can say that the two arcs are congruent. And our easy property of sum of measure of arcs. Okay, this also we will use today. We will solve some examples based on this. Now what this property states that you can add two arcs if they have just a single point in common. Okay, they have just a single point in common. Yesterday, to find the whole arc ACE, yesterday we have seen that to find the whole arc ACE, we have added two arcs, that is ABC and CDE. Here we have just one point, that is C in common. You can see that we have a point C in common. This is measure arc ABC plus measure arc CDE is equals to measure arc ACE. Okay, which gives us the measure of the whole arc, which is ACE. Note that we just have a single point in common. Then we have studied this theorem. The chords corresponding to the congruent arcs of a circle or congruent circles are congruent. Okay, so these were the corresponding the chords AC and DE. Okay, which we proved that this is congruent. Okay, today we are going to see the theorem which states that corresponding arcs of congruent chords. Now here the chords are congruent, it is given, of a circle or congruent circles are congruent. Okay, students, here the word or congruent circle, it means that if there are two different circles but they are having same radius. Okay, we are studying just these arcs in a single circle, but this can happen in a case where there are two circles and they have the same radii. Okay, so what is given? O is the center of the circle, chord PQ is congruent to chord RS. Yes, O is the center of the circle, chord PQ is congruent to chord RS. Corresponding arcs of congruent chords. So this is given that the chords are congruent of a circle. Okay, so they are congruent. So now we have to prove that these arcs are congruent. What is given? Chords are congruent. This is given. Okay, now we have to prove that the arcs are congruent. So just once again, we will go through the given things. O is the center of the circle, chord PQ and chord is congruent to chord RS. What we have to prove? Arc PMQ is congruent to arc RNS. Okay, this is PMQ. This is the arc PMQ and this is the chord RNS. Okay, this is the arc RNS and the chords are congruent. Okay, I will show these chords with the same size, same signs, so that we will come to know that these chords are congruent. Again, you can see that two triangles are formed over here. We will go by proving that these two triangles are congruent. Okay, so proof, consider that the following statements and write the proof. Here it is expected that we should write the proof, but how we will write this proof? Again, we will write that first we will consider these two triangles. Okay, and then we will state that OP is equals to OS as both are radius of the circle. Then OR is equals to OQ. This is also radius of the circle. Okay, this is also a radius of the circle. So we will, and the chords, these are congruents, it is given. Okay, so all the three sides are congruent to all the other three sides of the triangle. So both the triangles are congruent by triple S test of congruence. Okay, now we know that these angles are central angles. Okay, so what we will state now, our next statement will be POQ is congruent to SOR. Okay, CACT, corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Okay, now as these central angles are congruent, we know that whatever is the measure of the central angle, the same is the measure of the corresponding arc. Okay, so as these two angles are congruent, okay, the corresponding arcs will become congruent. And here we have stated our proof. Okay, develop the habit of writing proof by thinking in a perfect way. Divide all the steps of the proof into different parts, okay, and try to link them so that you will be able to write the proofs without any confusion. We will go towards the solved examples and then we will solve the example just to know the trick of writing. Okay, this is the solved example. Now, how to write an answer? Many students know the answer or they can predict it, but the way of writing, okay, that is also important. So we will focus on the way of writing of the solved examples. We will learn from solved examples how to write our solutions in the paper. Okay, so this is an example. ABC are any points on the circle with center O. So write the names of all arcs formed due to these points. If measure arc BC is equal to 110 degree and measure arc AB is equals to 125 degree, find the measures of all remaining arcs. Okay, two questions are asked. So patiently see the given diagram. What the diagram says? O is the center of the circle. You can see the concyclic points A, B, C. Okay, you can see the concyclic points A, B, C. So first, what we are asked to write the names. Write the names of all arcs formed due to these points. Okay, so what all arcs can be formed with the help of these points, the ABC. Okay, so the name of arcs are as follows. Arc AB, okay, this is the first arc AB. Then we can say that second arc BC. Second arc is BC. Third one can be AC. Okay, now these were the arcs with just two vertices or 2 points which are specified on the circle. Okay, we can write arcs by specifying 3 points. Okay, so first arc is ABC. ABC alphabetically we are going. First we wrote ABC. After that ACB. Okay, from this side we will go. Okay, ACB. Then arc BAC. Yes, from this side we have covered, it is BAC. Okay, so you can see that how many arcs we have written? We have written 6 arcs for 3 points. Okay, So if we get 3 points, we can write 6 arcs. Measure arc ABC is equals to measure arc AB plus measure arc BC. Okay, what we have to find? We have to find the measures of all remaining arcs. Okay, what we are given? What is given to us? First focus on that. Okay, BC is 110 degree. This means that the central angle formed by BC is 110 degree. After that, AB. Okay, so this is the central angle formed for the arc AB. Okay, AOB will be the central angle, and this measure is also given, which is 125 degree. Okay, so now whatever is the central angle, same is the arc. So this arc is 125 degree, 110 degree. Two arcs are given, and we have to find the rest of the 4 arcs. Okay, so what is the step to write? What are the steps to write? See, small m is written, which indicates it is measure. Inside the brackets, we have mentioned the name of the arc, which is arc ABC. Okay, now you can see in the figure ABC, how it is formed, how we can write ABC. We know that these two arcs. So I can write measure arc ABC is equal to measure arc AB plus measure arc BC. It is measure arc AB plus measure arc BC. Okay, as ABC is divided into 2 parts, and luckily we know both the measures of the 2 arcs. So first we will find the measure of arc ABC, then just substitute the values. Okay, in place of AB, they have substituted 125 degree, measure arc BC 110 degree, and its both addition is equals to 235 degree. Okay, now these are simple things to remember. We have to follow the writing techniques, and we will gain full marks. Measure arc AC is equal to 360 degree minus measure arc ACB. Now measure arc AC we have to find. Okay, this is the measure arc AC. So what we will do, from the whole circle, we will subtract these two. Okay, from the whole circle. Now yesterday we have studied that the measure of a semicircle is 180 degree, whereas the measure of the whole circle is 360 degree. Okay, so I have to find this part. Okay, and rest, this part I know. So what I will do, I'll subtract it from 360 degree to get my desired arc AC. Okay, so here we have done the same technique, that is measure arc AC is equals to 360 degree minus measure arc ACB, which is equals to 360 degree minus, we have added these two arcs, we got the addition. Okay, just substitute that addition over here. That is 360 degree minus 235 degree. Do the subtraction very properly, and you will get the answer 125 degree. Okay, these are the simplest things. Very simple. Similarly, measure arc ACB is equals to, okay, now what arc, try to look at this arc in the figure. Okay, this is ACB. Okay, this is ACB. Okay, so what things are required for ACB? Now we know the measure of this arc AC. Okay, we got the measure of arc AC. What is it? Okay, it is 125 degree. So now I have to find whole ACB starting from ACB. Okay, so what I will do, 360 degree minus 125 degree is equals to 235 degree. Okay, then measure of arc BAC. This is BAC. 360 degree minus 110 degree, I got the answer, which is 250 degree. There can be another steps, but if you want to follow this, these are also the simplest things. Okay, similarly, we will go towards the second thing. In the figure 3.36, a rectangle PQRS is inscribed in a circle with center T. Okay. Prove that arc PQ is congruent to arc SR. Arc SPQ is congruent to arc PQR. Now you can see that a rectangle is placed inside the circle. All the vertices of the rectangle are on the circle. Okay. And the center of the circle is T. So first we will start from the given things, that is quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. Chord PQ is congruent to chord SR, opposite sides of the rectangle. Yes, we have studied in quadrilaterals lesson that the opposite sides of the rectangle are congruent. So just they have taken this property. So chord PQ is congruent to chord SR. So these are opposite sides of the rectangle. Arc PQ is congruent to arc SR, arcs corresponding to congruent chords. Okay. Now the arcs also became congruent, that is PQ and SR. As the chords are congruent, the corresponding arcs to the chords, they also become congruent. Chord PS is congruent to chord QR. These are opposite sides of rectangle. Again, you can say see these sides, that is these are the breadth of the rectangles, and as they are congruent and as they are inscribed in a circle, now they have become a chord. Okay, they have become chords for this circle. So these are also opposite sides of the rectangle. Therefore, arc SP is congruent to arc QR. These are the arc of corresponding to the congruent chords. Okay, so this is the SP, circular part of the arc, and QR. These both become congruent. Therefore, measures of arc SP and QR are equal. Now, measure arc SP plus measure arc PQ is equals to measure arc PQ plus measure arc QR. Okay. Now you can see this is measure arc SP and measure arc PQ. Okay, so we have covered this part of the circle, SP and PQ. Okay, is equals to PQ plus QR. Okay, this is PQ plus QR. So what happened? The things which are common on the both side get cancelled. So measure arc SPQ is equals to measure arc PQR, and arc SPQ is congruent to arc PQR. Okay, so we have shown the two things, that is arc PQ is congruent to arc SR, and whole arc SPQ, okay, is equals to arc PQR. Just try to see it in the diagrams so that you people will remember it. So we will see these remember things. Whatever we have learned is concluded in this part. This part is also important. While revising chapters, do revise these lines, which will help you to solve questions for 1 and 2 marks. An angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is called a central angle. Yes, the angle whose vertex is at the center of the circle. So you can see that this is the center of the circle C, and the angle's vertex is also at the center of the circle. So this angle DCE will become central angle. Definition of measure of an arc. The measure of a minor arc is the measure of its central angle. Okay, now this is the minor arc, okay, smallest arc, which we called it as minor arc. So its measure will be same as that of the central angle. Measure of the semicircle is 360 degree. Measure of the measure arc is equal to 360 degree minus measure of the corresponding minor arc. Okay, this we have studied. When two arcs are of the same radius and same measure, they are congruent. Yes, this we have studied, that two things are required to make an arc congruent. Which two things are required? They should have two arcs, they should have same radius. Okay, and the arc measure should be also same. When only one point C is common to arc ABC and arc CD, yes, you can see only one point is common, C is repeating, of the same circle, measure arc ABC plus measure arc CD is equals to measure arc AC. Then and then we can add these two arcs, okay, if they have only one point in common. Chords of the same or congruent circles are equal if the related arcs are congruent. Okay, chords of the same or congruent circles are equal when they are equal if the related arcs are congruent. We have seen two theorems for this thing, that is chords corresponding to their arcs. Okay, when they are congruent, if the chords are congruent, arcs are congruent. If arcs are congruent, the corresponding chords are also congruent. Arcs of the same or congruent circles are equal if the related chords are congruent. Okay, these are the few things which you should remember while solving problems. It will be better if you write down these things in your notebook, revise it many times, okay, so that whenever you see the question in your question paper, instantly you will memorize it, you will recall it, and you will be able to solve the problem. Okay, so we will solve some problems. Now the question is, the diameter of the circle is 9 centimeter in length. Find the radius of the circle. Okay, the diameter is the largest chord, okay, which is passing through the center of the circle. So the measure of the diameter is equals to 9 centimeter. Okay, so this is given. What we have to find? We have to find radius. We know that radius is equals to diameter divided by 2. Substitute the value. 4 2s are 8. Okay, 1 is remaining. Place a decimal point. You will get 0 on it. So 2 5s are 10. The given unit is centimeter. Diameter is having the unit centimeter. So the radius will have the unit centimeter. Okay. This is your answer. After that, the radius of a circle is 8 centimeter. Okay. So if this is a circle and the radius of the circle is 8 centimeter, find the length of the largest chord of the circle. Okay. So what is given? Given is radius. Now you can remember only this formula. Okay. So whenever we have to find diameter, what I will do, this 2 is dividing this side, it will multiply on the other side. Okay. So what I have to find? I have to find diameter. Okay, I will write the same formula and I will show you as we write all the unknown things on left side. Okay, so if you want, change the sides of this. Okay, as I have to find the diameter, I have changed the side. I have taken the diameter on left hand side. Now I have to find the diameter. This is divided by 2. When it goes on another side, it will become multiplied by 2. So I will write diameter is equal to 2 into radius, or it is also called twice into radius. So 2 into radius is 8. So 8 2s are 16. The given unit for radius is centimeter. Okay. So whatever diameter I got, it will also have the unit as centimeter. I hope you people are finding it easy. Circle with radius 7 centimeter and 9 centimeter touch each other from outside. Okay. Now, abruptly we have taken these measures. Okay. So these are just the circles. One is having 7 centimeter radius, another is having 9 centimeter radius. How they are touching? They are touching from outside. So find the distance between their centers. What we have to find? Distance between their centers. Now we have to, okay, so we will find this distance between the centers. Now we have studied some properties while learning the touching circles concept, and this concept was, I will just write the point once again. If the circle touch each other externally, distance between their centers is equal to the sum of their radii. Now, no need to write this in your answer sheet, but I have just written this to recall. Okay, as I want this property on one side and the circles on the other side, so that I can relate with the property. Okay, so can you see that these two circles are touching externally? Okay, yes, these two circles are touching externally in a single point. Okay, what I have to find? I have to find the distance between the centers. So can you see that this property also exhibits the same, that distance between their points is equal to the sum of their radii. Okay, and what I have asked in the question, what is asked in the question? So find the distance between their centers. Okay, can you relate? Okay, can you relate this distance between their centers? Okay, so these are the same things. I can use this property. Okay, as it is mentioned clearly that they are touching outside, it means that they are touching externally. Okay, they are touching externally. Okay, if this word was inside, instead of outside, it was inside, the circle must be placed in the circle. Okay, it must be the second case of touching circles. Okay, so I will use this property. It is very important to understand what is given inside the question and which property to use. Okay, as I have found similarity in these things. Okay, the word outside means it is externally, and I have to find distance of the circles. Okay, so these things are in common. So what I will do while solving this question, I will just sum the radius. Okay, what I will do, I will just do the addition of the radius. Okay, so if I name these points, if I name these circles as, this is a circle with center O, this is a circle with center A, they have a point P common. Okay, so what is given? According to the question, I have formulated a diagram and I can write given to this. So OP is equal to 7 centimeter. Okay, and AP is equals to 9 centimeter. These two things are given. What I have to find? I have to find the length of OA. Length of OA. Okay, so can I write like this? Length of OA is equals to radius OP plus radius AP. and reason for this is circles touching externally. Circles touching externally. As they are touching externally, I can just add 2 radius. Okay, so what will be the length of OA? It will be, first OP is 7 centimeter. Okay, if you write the units, it will also done, or just write numbers. So 7 plus 9, it becomes 16. And then you can write, as it is given in centimeters, we will write centimeters. So length of OA is in 16 centimeter. A writing statement is very important. Okay, so we will write that distance between their center, distance between centers of circle is equals to is 16 centimeter. Okay, so distance between the centers of the circle is 16 centimeter. So these are easy questions. Okay, we will go for the next question. In the figure, angle ABC is equals to 80 degree. Okay, so this angle is 80 degree. It is given that ABC is equal to 80 degree. What we have to find? Arc APC. Okay, now this is the arc APC. This is also the question based on the properties. Okay, you can solve this. Revising things is important to understand and as well as remember this lesson circle. Okay, so we will just perform 2 activities today. These activities helps us to understand the concept. Okay, if you are not doing it on cardboard sheets or anything else, just go through the diagrams, which helps us to understand the concept. Okay, so draw a sufficiently large circle of any radius as shown in the figure 3.40. Okay, sufficiently large circle so that many angles you can draw in that. Draw a chord AB and the central angle ACB. Now this is the central angle as it is passing through the center of the circle. This is central angle ACB. Take any point D on the major arc and point E on the minor arc. Okay, now this will be the major arc and the point which do not consist the center of the circle is called as minor arc. Measure angle ADB and angle ACB, compare it. Okay, ADB and ACB. This is ADB and you can see this is ACB. So we have to compare these two arcs and then we have to compare ADB and AEB. Okay, this is ADB and this one is AEB. We have to compare these angles. Then what we have to do? We have to take points F, G, H on the arc ADB. Measure angle AFB, angle AGB, angle AHB. Compare these measures with each other as well as measure of angle ADB. Okay, so why we are comparing these angles? Okay, we are comparing these angles to see that, okay, what is the difference between central arc and the arcs which and the angles which are present in the circle. Okay, now these are the angles present on the circle. Okay, they are not central angles. They are not central angles. Okay, so they have some relationship with them. So we have to study this relationship with the help of inscribed angle. Okay, and then we will go for the inscribed angle theorem. So you can see that ACB is greater, central angle is greater than the inscribed angle. Okay, as well as this also inscribed angle. Now here a rhombus is formed, so opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so these angles will be congruent. Now while studying circle, we are turning towards the concepts or the topics related to quadrilateral also. So you must have all the properties of quadrilaterals cleared in your mind, so that you will be able to identify, rectify those things in the given diagram. Okay. So we will go towards the concept which is inscribed angle. C is the center of a circle. The vertex D of angle PDQ lies on the circle. Okay, C is the center of the circle. The vertex D, okay, the vertex D of angle PDQ lies on the circle. The arm PDQ intersect the circle at A and B. Okay, this intersects the circle at point A and B. Such an angle is called inscribed angle or in the arc. Okay, this is called as inscribed angle. Now you can see that the vertex is placed inside the circle. Okay, it lies on the circular ring, or you can see circumference of the circle. So angle ADB is inscribed in the arc. In the arc ADB. Okay. So while learning inscribed angle, we are taking the arc, okay, the back side of the circular ring, and this is the arc. Okay, so ADB is inscribed in the arc ADB. Okay, the circular part behind the angle is taken. Angle ADB is inscribed in the arc ADB. Now these are intercepted arcs. These are intercepted arcs. So you can see that the vertex should strictly lie on the circle, okay? And the two arms should cut the circle in 2 points. So first, third, okay, this is also not an inscribed angle, as the vertex is not on the circle. Okay, it should be on the circular link, okay, on the circumference of the circle. Okay, this is also not an inscribed arc, as one arm lies outside the circle. This is also not, as the vertex is outside the circle. This is also having the vertex outside the circle. Okay, so we will just go through these lines today. We will understand what are the basic requirements for the proofs which we have to study on the inscribed angle theorem. Okay, so in each figure, the arc of a circle that lies in the interior of angle ABC is an arc intercepted by the angle ABC. The points of intersection of the circle and the angle are end points of the intercepted arcs. Okay, these are the end points of the intercepted arc. This is A and C. Each side of the angle has to contain an end point of the arc. In figures 3.43, first, second, and third, only one arc is intercepted by that angle, and in 4, 5, and 6, 2 arcs are intercepted by the angle. So also note that only one side of the angle touches the circle in 2 and 5. Yes, only one side of the angle is there in 2 and 5. Okay, only one side touches the circle. 6, okay, both sides of the angle touch the circle. So in figure 3.44, the arc is not intercepted arc, as arm BC does not contain any point of the arc. Okay, so You can see this 3.44. The arc is not intercepted arc, as arc BC does not contain any end point. Okay, the end points on of the arc. Okay, so these end points are not there on the circle. So this is not an intercepted arc. Okay, we have studied two things, that is inscribed and intercepted. So go through these things, see these diagrams again and again. Just by going through it only once will not do. So revise it until all your confusions are clear. Okay, so revision is important. Just go through the figures again and again to see what is the concept of intercepted arc and inscribed arc. Okay, so what things are required for inscribed and intercepted? For intercepted, the arc of the circle that lies in the interior of the angle ABC is an intercepted by the arc ABC. Okay, so whatever is there inside the angle, we are going to take as intercepted arc, and whatever is beyond the angle will be the inscribed arc. Okay, just by understanding the difference between the two concepts, you will be able to easily remember these concepts. Okay, just try to figure out these ABC. Okay, so the inscribed angle will be ABC, while the intercepted will be AC. Okay, go through these diagrams, just see where the angles are placed, and you yourself write down these points in such a way that you will be able to differentiate between the two things. Okay, revise all the concepts which are taught today. Write down all the points to remember. Solve the questions which are given in your exercises, as well as the additional questions, whatever I have taken. Okay, this topic is important regarding marks point of view. So I think this will be enough for today for you people to understand. So revise the things. Thank you and have a nice day.